Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to work on figurative language. Again, we've been doing figurative language for a long time from August. But we need to make sure we're knowing this without looking at anything else. So I'm going to read you a poem, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go over the different types of figurative language. And in this assignment, you're going to write down 3 times in a story that you notice some kind of figurative language. There'll be a lot more inside of this poem, but I only want you to write down 3. So, what I want to do before I start reading is for you to get a piece of paper, get your notebooks, get your pencils, take out your notebooks, take out your pencils, and I want you to write down what you hear. Now you can pause this video, you can look at it, you can play it over and over again, but you have to listen carefully and you're going to write down 3 figurative language, and in some cases, you're going to need to explain why. So some of you know that you're going to need to explain why. Now, so let's go to the next slide. What are we doing? We're going to cite evidence. What does cite mean? Cite means write it down exactly from the text. So in this case, this text is a poem. So maybe if some of you are going to need to answer, why did the poet use personification? Why does the poet use a simile? Why did the poet use an extended metaphor? Now, let's go over the definitions for each of these figurative language. So A is for allusion. N is for negative hyperbole. I is for irony. R is for repetition. I is for imagery. E is for extended metaphor. Oh, that's spelled an irie. Yeah, that's a new one. Some of you know this one. S is for simile. H is for hyperbole. A for alliteration. M for metaphor. P for personification. O for onomatopoeia. O for oxymoron. Everybody remember shampoo? Remember that now. So you have to learn shampoo and you got to learn about an irie shampoo. So here are all the definitions that we have. Allusion, refer to famous person, place, movie, or event. Negative hyperbole, an exaggeration stated in a negative way. Imagery, description that appeals to the 5 senses. Repetition, words repeated for emphasis. Irony, when what happens is different from what you expect. Extended metaphor, comparisons that continue for several lines. Now, simile, compare 2 unlike things using like or as. Hyperbole, a dramatic or funny exaggeration. Alliteration, repeated beginning sounds. Metaphor, compare 2 unlike things without using like or as. Personification, giving human qualities to non-human things. Onomatopoeia, sound words. Boom, clap, oops. Oxymoron, when we use 2 opposite words to form a new word or a phrase. So today we're going to do what, read? A small part of After the Hurricane. And then what is your job? Write down 3 figurative language. Write down is to cite it word for word. Don't change the words, don't add anything. right? Let's talk about this. If toilets flushed, if baby slept, if faucets ran, old bodies didn't die in the sun, if none of it were real, if we weren't in it, this could be a disaster movie with helicopters overhead, special effects brought in to create Lake George and not the Great Mississippi meeting Lake Point Chartrain. Out of work waiters would pose as policemen, locals as extra paid in box lunches, with set design, dump raw sewage, trash everywhere, news trucks, patrol cars, army trucks, Humvees. Oh, it were real. If we weren't in it, this could be a big budget disaster flick. King Jasper and Advent, after bank practice, like we did last Tuesday, watching Titanic on Grandma's sofa. And I'm going to continue to read the last sentence. Just give me a second. That Jasper would laugh at all the actors drowning while the band played glub, glub, glub. Wait a minute. If toilets flush, if babies slept, if faucets ran, or body doesn't die in the sun, if none of it were real, if we weren't in it, oops, I see something there. This could be a disaster with helicopters overhead, special effects brought in to create Lake George and not the Great Mississippi, Lake Point Chartrain. Out of work, waiters would pose, that word should be pose, in the poem as policemen, locals as extras, paid in box lunches. For a set design, dump raw sewage, trash everywhere, news truck, patrol cars, army trucks, Humvees, if none of it were real, if we weren't in it, this could be a big budget disaster flick. King Jasper and Advent, after band practice like we did last Tuesday, watching Titanic on Grandma's sofa, that Jasper would laugh at all the actors drowning while the band played love, love, love. So students, what would I like you to do? Just write down refigurative language from the poem. Now, this poem has about 225 lines. And remember, it's a memoir. So, a memoir is a personal narrative. So, this person is giving you what they experienced. They include the band, they include other people. So, we have more to do. There's lots more figurative language. But I want you to, one, learn the figurative languages, know what they mean, and you be able to cite it so that you can be successful in your studies. Thank you, everyone, and have an awesome day.